Hey friends, long time no see. Uh, don't know if any of you were wondering what happened to me or not, or if I was still doing carnivore, or if I had just, given up on the plan and gone off to do something else. Um, uh, Before I get into that, I just want to say that, so it's been about 6 months or so since I did a video. It was last spring. I just have been so tied up with work lately. My job has been really hectic. And the time that I have not spent working, I have been doing things to recuperate from work. Spending time with my kids, going out and doing fun things, or just hanging out at home relaxing. So I didn't want to do anything that was, that I didn't need any more commitments. And at the same time, I sort of just got out of much social media altogether. I took Facebook off of my computer. I mean, not my computer, off my phone. It was using up so much memory that I was not being able to save my movies that I was making anyway. But it was like, and whenever I was taking my walks, I wouldn't take my phone with me. I was kind of like doing a social media cleanse almost. But I wasn't even watching that many videos, much less making any. I was just, trying to let my brain rest whenever I had the opportunity to do that. But now I feel like I have more of the bandwidth to do it, to participate in the community the way I haven't in the last few months. And I've had a bunch of medical stuff going on too. Some of you may remember that back in February, I was in the hospital with a shortness of breath situation that they never did find a cause for. But I've seen every kind of specialist that can possibly be related. So, like back in August, I think I had 8 doctor's appointments and some physical therapy appointments. So just YouTube was the farthest thing from my mind. But my health has been pretty good since then. But to answer that burning question, no, I have not been off plan. I've probably lost about, I don't know exactly when the last video I made was, but I did check my ledger. I keep a record of my weight and I've lost about 20 pounds in the last 6 months. So still have been losing weight very slowly. Lately, so I had eye surgery a few weeks ago and I had to take some, I've been on not still, but I was on some antibiotics. So I have been using an ounce or so of fermented vegetables that I fermented myself medicinally for the past few weeks, just since the antibiotic use. I'm finished with that, and I probably will keep doing that until maybe the end of the year, or until these batches that I made are gone. I made some cabbage, carrots, and zucchini in separate containers, and I have maybe a pint of each of those, and I eat a little bit of each every day, and I don't like it. I already wish I could stop because I don't like the taste of it that much. I don't like how it makes my food cold, because you can't put really hot food on it because it would it would kill the microbes. So but I feel better. So I do think it's serving you know a biological purpose. And I hated having to be on antibiotics. I really did not want to. Whenever I went into the hospital, I was arguing with them about, I don't want that. Do not give me any of that. And the steroids, no, I'm not taking those. You can get out of here with that stuff. So at the same time, I didn't want to get, this was actually open wound around my eyeballs. And I 100% did not want to risk getting an infection. Um, so those are the kinds of serious circumstances when I do think one of the rare situations where I personally think antibiotics is warranted. And you just have to be smart, and take steps afterwards. So yeah, I've still been doing carnivore right now, and possibly for the next few months. I'm using those just a few tablespoons of no, not tablespoons, a few teaspoons, probably a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half. I'm actually weigh it every once in a while so that I can gauge how much I'm using, and an ounce to an ounce and a half is how much it weighs out to of all three of them together. And I also eat around an ounce of Greek yogurt, and it's the same. I don't like the taste of it at all. I just get some on a spoon and put it in my mouth and swallow it without trying to taste it because it's gross. So that's what I've been doing, and it's hard to know if it's related or not. So let me tell you, I've still had a huge amount of stress at work just because of the amount of work that there is to do right now. And I don't feel as stressed as I normally would. I mean, my regular sort of neuroticisms are still there. I'm still a perfectionist. I still am not satisfied with the amount of work I'm producing. I still think that I'm going to have a huge fight with my boss about not some item that I did not get done that I should have gotten done, even though this has never happened. Um, but I'm not stressing about it. So I suppose if I found out that using this small amount of, um, you know, ferments a day was giving me that extra support in the gut brain connection, I may consider continuing to do that, but I really don't have any desire to keep doing it. And just in case you ask, yes, I've tried taking bottles of various kinds of probiotics, and that didn't seem to make any difference. Um, in case anybody's curious, I've had a strabismus, or what I think is, commonly called a lazy eye, since I was 7 years old from a head injury, and at the time and ever since then, it really wasn't discovered until I was 15. But I started having double vision when I was 7, so that had to have been when it happened. But at the time, we didn't have insurance that would cover it and couldn't afford to pay for it ourselves. So, never got anything done about it. And I just sort of learned to adapt to the double vision, the lack of binocular vision and depth perception that comes along with having two eyes not being focused on the same thing. And finally found a surgeon who would work on that for me, and was, had the opportunity to do it. And she was like, well, we can try it. It may not work. It may not work perfectly. It may give you some improvement, but not 100% improvement. And I don't think it's probably not 100% improvement, but it was beyond my wildest dreams. So I'm really happy that I was able to get it done, and feel very blessed and thankful to that doctor for being able to do that for me. And it was a pediatric eye surgeon, because I think it's pretty unusual for this surgery to be done to adults. And we live in a sort of underserved area for that kind of thing, so she was the one. And she did it, and she did a great job. I'm I enjoy looking at my eyes now. I just sort of look at them. You can tell they're not exactly straight, but man, they were really bad before. Um, and now, if I'm taking a selfie of myself, I can look at it, and then I have to, take my glasses down so I can hold the camera up and see. But it's like my eyes are pointing in the same direction, and I'm just like, oh my God, this has been going on. This has been so messed up since I was 7, and I'm not having nearly the double vision that I was before. One of the things that I had done to adapt to that was always tilting my head this way, and that's what got me started on this quest to get somebody to fix it. Because finally, after 40 years, it had started to cause me issues from here all the way down. It was a big deal. Pain in my neck and shoulder there. So, and I had a physical therapist said, well, just straighten your head up. Like, well, yeah, if I do, I see two of everything. So now I can hold my head up straight and not see two of everything. And that is just the coolest thing. Still carnivore. I will try, unless unless everything goes sideways, to report back in. If anybody's even interested in hearing about my carnivore journey and experiences, to keep you all posted. I have lost a total of 161 pounds. And I've been carnivore for 2 years, so 110 pounds of that has been in the last 2 years since doing carnivore. Actually, the last 25 months now. So there you go. If you're interested in, following along any to see what's going on with that, I'll post back when I can. Let me know how you've been doing in the comments below. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day.